Welcome to the Silent Mind. Today we explore a quiet psychological pattern that appears in friendships, workplaces, and relationships. The tendency for genuinely kind individuals to become undervalued over time. At first, kindness is usually appreciated. People notice warmth, patience, and understanding. It creates comfort and trust in social spaces. But something subtle can begin to change. When kindness becomes predictable, others may slowly stop recognizing the effort behind it. What once felt generous begins to feel expected. The same supportive behavior that once stood out gradually blends into the background. To understand this pattern, we must first recognize how human perception works. People naturally notice change more than consistency. Unexpected kindness feels powerful. Constant kindness becomes familiar, and familiarity over time can quietly reduce appreciation. This does not mean people intentionally disrespect kindness. More often, it reflects how the mind adapts to what is always present. Psychologists call this a form of emotional normalization. When supportive behavior becomes routine, others begin to treat it as part of the environment rather than a personal effort. Imagine someone who always listens patiently. At first, their attention feels valuable, but if they never set limits, others may assume that attention will always be available. The kindness slowly transforms from generosity into expectation. Another factor is boundaries. Kind individuals often prioritize harmony. They avoid conflict, forgive quickly, and accommodate others easily. While these traits create peaceful interactions, they can also send an unintended message. When people rarely express their own needs, others may assume those needs do not exist. Over time, this creates imbalance. One person gives emotional energy repeatedly. Others receive that support without fully recognizing the cost behind it. Kindness, in this situation, becomes invisible labor. The more quietly it is offered, the less visible it becomes. Social dynamics also play a role. In many environments, assertiveness attracts attention. Confidence signals importance. Kind individuals, however, often communicate gently. They rarely demand recognition or highlight their contributions. As a result, their value can be underestimated. This does not mean kindness lacks strength. In reality, kindness requires emotional awareness, patience, and restraint. But because it does not seek attention, it can easily be overlooked. There is another psychological layer to consider. Some people unconsciously test boundaries. When someone repeatedly tolerates inconvenience or sacrifice, others may gradually extend those expectations further. Not necessarily with harmful intent, but through habit. If no limit appears, behavior expands into the available space. This is why kindness without boundaries can slowly turn into obligation. The person who gives begins to feel exhausted. The person receiving support may not even realize the imbalance has developed. Interestingly, many kind individuals struggle to change this dynamic. Their empathy makes them aware of others' needs. They hesitate to withdraw support, fearing they might appear selfish. But healthy kindness does not mean endless availability. True generosity includes self-respect. When individuals recognize their own limits, kindness becomes balanced rather than depleted. Boundaries do not destroy kindness. They protect it. They remind others that kindness is a choice, not a permanent resource. Another important shift occurs when kind individuals begin valuing their own time and emotional energy. When kindness is paired with quiet confidence, people tend to respect it more. The behavior remains warm, but it is no longer taken for granted. Ultimately, the issue is not kindness itself. The issue is how consistently available kindness can become invisible. Human perception adjusts quickly to what is always present. But when kindness carries clear boundaries, it regains its meaning. Others recognize that the support they receive is intentional rather than automatic, and appreciation begins to return. Kindness should never require sacrificing personal dignity. It should reflect strength, empathy, and awareness. Because the most powerful form of kindness is not silent exhaustion. It is generosity that respects both others and oneself. This has been The Silent Mind, where silence reveals what noise cannot.